Ultimately, it is a teaching that greatly influences one's own situation and even destiny. Hello. Today, the proverb we will be discussing is, both harm and compassion originate from oneself. Please stay with us until the end. The common interpretation is that the actions and attitudes one shows toward others, whether good or bad, eventually come back to oneself. The exact origin is unknown, but it is believed to be based on Buddhist teachings such as karma, cause and effect. I will delve deeper from here. If you act with hostility or malice towards others, you will receive the same hostility or malice in return. Conversely, if you treat others with kindness and consideration, you will receive the same kindness and consideration in return. This proverb emphasizes the causal relationship that one's actions and attitudes influence others, and those influences return to oneself. It teaches that how one behaves towards others ultimately has a significant impact on one's own circumstances and even fate. Here is a familiar example. In a certain workplace, Mr. S is capable of doing his job, but he is not very talkative and is poor at socializing. He felt that his colleagues and juniors did not trust him much and found him difficult to approach and somewhat unapproachable. One day, Mr. S consulted his senior about this. After that, when the senior observed Mr. S closely, he noticed that Mr. S's interactions with his colleagues and juniors seemed polite at first glance but somehow came across as indifferent and emotionless. Although his language was not rude, it felt somewhat distant. This kind of usual interaction was conveyed to the other party, and it is believed that this led them to interact with Mr. S in a similarly distant manner. After the senior pointed this out to Mr. S, he started to be more mindful of his behavior, resulting in a gradual improvement in his relationships with his colleagues. In this way, Mr. S's own actions ended up affecting himself. It can be said that the way he interacted with others was reflected back at him. By recognizing that his actions towards others result in such outcomes, one can understand the importance of treating others with kindness and consideration. Changing the subject. Some people blame others or the world for the bad things that happen to them. I used to be like that too. It seems that many of these people generally treat others poorly. But in the end, it comes back to them. This creates a vicious cycle that continues until they realize it themselves. To avoid this, it's important to reflect on oneself, honestly acknowledge what seems wrong, and strive to improve. People cannot live alone. Relationships with others become important over the course of a long life. These relationships can even change each other's lives. Maintaining good relationships with others is one of the important aspects of living a good life. This proverb can be interpreted to convey this idea. That's all for today. Thank you for staying with me until the end. I look forward to seeing you again. Goodbye.